Is email marketing dead? Hi, I'm Dean Mercado from Online Marketing Muscle, and what an intriguing question, isn't it? Now, if you looked at most small businesses and how they use email marketing, you would certainly think that it was, or at least that it was in the process of dying. However, in my opinion, it absolutely is not dead. It is alive and kicking. The problem is, we don't use it very well as small businesses. So what I'm going to present for you here today is 3 ways to raise your email marketing from the dead. So, first, one of the things that makes email marketing much more effective. Number one, you should know what you want to get from email marketing first. So let me just throw that out there. But number one, segmenting. Segmenting your list. So it's not enough these days to have a list of 1,000 contacts, prospects, suspects, clients, and just keep blanketing, or as we say, I hate to say it this way, vomiting your email messages all over your audience, whether they want them or they don't. Topics they're not interested in. They might be interested in this one, but they're totally not interested in these other 10 that you're sending. That kind of blanketing email just doesn't cut it anymore. So segmenting is the answer. The ability to go into your list and say, okay, this person's interested in this, and that, right? This person's not interested in this. And being able to just profile each person in your list a little bit so that you can get a little bit more strategic and intelligent about what you're sending to whom. That makes your emails a lot more effective. Now, some email marketing systems just flat out don't have the ability to segment. If yours doesn't, you ought to think about changing it to one that does, right? We are fans of Infusionsoft here. That is one that we would suggest looking at. Now, Infusionsoft is way more than email marketing, but its ability to segment is second to none. There really isn't anything out there that can do that job that way that we've seen so far, at least at the time of this recording, right? Second big thing that we can do to undead or to raise our email marketing from the dead would be to make sure that we're focused on quality, not quantity. So it's not about just bombarding your audience with email after email after email after email. Especially when you really don't have much to say. It's about making sure that when you do say something, it's impactful, right? It gets the job done. So you're better off slow it down and make your writing a little bit more powerful than just throwing out junk and filling the airwaves with some more clutter. Clutter is not good. There's too much of it going on. If you play it all in social media, you know what I mean. It's overwhelming, right? And the messages and the people that get seen as the people putting out those messages that get seen as people adding clutter are not the ones that are going to get the attention. But you've got to have some people that you pay attention to in your email that you're like, oh, this is from so-and-so, let me read this. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Making sure that your emails are quality, right? Not necessarily quantity. Nobody wants to hear from you 20 times a day. I'm sorry, I don't care what you have to say. So make sure that you time these things out appropriately. Now, on the flip side, you got to send enough emails so they still remember who you are. So if you're not sending out something at least once a month, not good. You probably ought to up the frequency a little bit. But again, it's still about quality, not quantity. And the third big tip that I want to make sure that we get across to you here today, it's all about your headlines, right? You're segmenting me right now. You're hitting me with the right frequency. You're not overdoing it with me. But even then, I see the email come in, and you gotta have the headline or the subject line that gets me to want to open it up. If it's boring and humdrum, I'm certainly not opening it up. If it's more polarizing and more like in your face, kind of a little startling, great. Absolutely. Or if it seems helpful, like 3 tips to something, great. So don't be afraid to really just add some shock value there, because the purpose of that subject line is to get someone to open the email. So if you're not seeing the open rates, right, that you want to see, if no one's reading your stuff, change it up. Think about these 3 things that I mentioned here today. What were they again? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. First one, segmenting. Make sure you're segmenting your list properly and you're only sending things to people who want that something. right? The second big thing is quality versus quantity. And the third big thing is you got to make sure your headlines rock. Okay, for me, Dean Mercado, Online Marketing Muscle, thank you for tuning in. We will talk real soon, all right? Take care now.